I like to tell people I collect stories as opposed to signs.
Okay.
Yeah, there's value
It
there,
is.
but the value isn't the most important thing to me. I know a lot of people get involved in this. They like to buy and sell and trade. I'm not that guy. I'm the guy that hoards them.
From winding back roads to weathered front porches, this is Grounded in Granite, a podcast about the people and places rooted in the Granite State. I'm Jason Schreiber. I've called this state home my whole life, and for more than 30 years as a journalist, I've had the privilege of telling the quiet, powerful stories that live in our small towns and everyday lives, from the seacoast to the Great North Woods. And if there's one thing I've learned over the years, it's this. In New Hampshire, every person and every place has a story to tell. Thanks for joining me. Let's get started. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Grounded in Granite. I am here in Pittsfield, New Hampshire with Eli English at his amazing barn. He has a business downstairs called Traditional Speed and Custom, where he restores antique and vintage cars. But upstairs, where we're sitting, is, well, I think it looks like an amazing sign museum. You call it a
Automobilia collection.
Automobilia collection. I mean, it's just incredible. And so we're just going to kind of hear how this collection started and what he's got going on here, because it's a lot, and it really is impressive. I mean, I've never seen so many automotive related signs and other signs. We have a Colonial Theater sign back here. I mean, it's just incredible. So Eli, thank you for taking a few minutes. It's a little chilly in his barn. It's winter in New England, so we're keeping warm. But and then we got this car behind us. What do we got? What do we got behind us here?
That's a 1957 Chevrolet station wagon.
Okay, all right. And does this just sit here all the time as sort of like part of the showroom here?
No, we drive it all the time. So that's
you do?
my wife. That's like kind of in the summertime. It's a regular driver.
Oh, okay.
Everything's put up for the winter right now, but
okay, all right.
No, we go buy groceries. We go to Home Depot with it. That's just
really?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God,
yeah.
That's awesome. So Eli, yeah, what is going on here? You got with the signs. This is just a collection you've been working on for what, many years or what?
Yeah, so I started collecting signs when I was about 12 years old. I got my first one for my 12th birthday.
Okay.
I like to tell people I collect stories as opposed to signs.
Okay.
Yeah, there's value there, but the value isn't the most important thing to me.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people get involved in this. They like to buy and sell and trade.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy. I'm the guy that hoards them.
Okay.
Because I collect the stories behind each one.
Yeah.
So I like to kind of have the signs find me, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I have signs that I've always wanted. So I have like this bucket list of signs that, you know, that if I can find one, great. If not, whatever.
Okay.
But basically they kind of find me, and I like them for the color. I like them for design wise. And I like the fact that the story that they tell and the story of getting it. So,
yeah. So each sign has a story.
Correct.
Behind it, and how many? Do you know how many you have in here?
I actually don't.
You don't?
No, at one point I did, but it's gotten so I've gone kind of so deep now. I really don't know.
No,
it's kind of They just kind of, as you can see, they kind of stack up, and usually what happens in the wintertime, I collect them, and they'll be, you know, come spring there'll be 5 or 6 that I need to find a place for.
Yeah.
And that's part of the fun to me too, is displaying them. I like having kind of the artistic side of it, of overlapping them, so that when you look through the barn, you see no negative space.
Okay. So they're just, these signs aren't just like thrown in here. You put thought into how you're going to place these signs, and so who gets to see these? Who gets to see this? Your customers who come and.
Yeah, my customers come, and then every March I usually have an open house for my shop downstairs.
Okay.
So we'll have anywhere between 100 to 250 people here, depending on weather or whatever.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So we have there'll be a big group of people, and I'll pull some of the cars out so there's room to walk around. And then, basically it's kind of word of mouth, and I collect for me. I like to, like I said, I'll open the doors up. It's kind of my happy place, and I'll be like, all right, if that sign went there, I can put this one here, and then if I put this one, I mean, it's really kind of like Tetris to make them so that every sign is just at least a little bit visible. So I kind of, but it's from the front. From the back, it looks kind of a mess. It's weird. You look the other way, it looks messy.
Yeah, so we're not going to look from the back. Yeah. We're going to look from this way. It's really extraordinary. Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite sign?
I think the Colonial Theater sign is my favorite one. Only because it's the original Colonial Theater sign from Laconia.
Okay.
From 1914. Which is amazing. It survived that long.
And you acquired it explain how you got that.
I acquired it from a junkyard. Actually, believe it or not, it had gotten scrapped.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff that I have in here comes that way. I have friends that kind of have feelers out and they let me know what stuff is, and I save it and and then preserve it. Like that sign there, I did some rewiring to it, but I chose not to repaint it because it earned its patina. It earned that been there since 1914, and I'm sure it's been painted a few times, but
so it's authentic. I mean, it's
the real deal.
Kind of the and that's what you like here. That's what you have. Everything seems very authentic in here.
Yeah, there's a couple reproduction signs in, but for the most part, 99.9% of the signs in here are original condition.
Okay. And are they all from New Hampshire, or a lot of them are from New Hampshire?
Most of them are from New Hampshire, yeah.
Okay.
I try to collect, and a lot of them are from local right to my area here in Pittsfield too, or the great areas like Laconia, Concord, stuff like that.
Now you've got a Frankenstein trestle sign out here.
Yeah.
So how did that one come?
So that got taken down in a landslide years ago. And I had a friend of mine that worked for the state in the sign department, and they were going to throw that one away. Yeah. And I ended up in the same junkyard some other stuff came from.
Oh my gosh!
He's like, "Yeah, that stuff I went to the junkyard." So I went up there, and sure enough, there it was in the scrap pile. So, yeah, it was kind of cool to have. If you look at the bottom, the base is snapped right off, so it was supposed to be a freestanding sign. So now it's a wall hanger. But,
oh my! So people know you've got all this, and so they come to you and, hey, you might be interested in this or whatever. That happens often.
And I'm the cheap sign guy too. I'm not the guy who spends thousands of dollars on it because to me, this signs at the end of the day. I love them for what they are. But again, I've had people come, I brought some money with you. I want to buy some signs. I'm like, well, they're not for sale.
So okay.
Yeah, they're again, it's the story. And then there's also a lot of stuff here that people like families have given me like their family heirlooms that say, hey, we know you don't sell it. We don't have any place for it. If you'd like to display it, it's yours forever. Just don't sell it. Okay. So, and I have several signs here like that. So.
Is there stuff that you won't take? Signs that you just feel aren't going to fit in your place here?
Not really. I mean, it's modern stuff for the most part. No, unless it has something tied directly to this area, to my town. But for the most part, I have kind of gone beyond the porcelains. I started collecting blown plastic signs from the 50s. Like in the back, there's a Carrier air conditioning sign. It's huge. It's actually 1955.
Yeah,
but it looks like a modern sign, but they're actually fairly ornate. They've got a lot of depth to them. They've got a lot of like they're raised letters and raised features on them.
Okay.
So they're good quality. Unlike today, where they're just a plastic slab with stickers on them. These are actually cast signs. So I started kind of collecting them because I feel that it's kind of the next thing, because most of your early stuff from the from the teens up through the 50s is in collections. And some of it's gotten really, really valuable and really expensive. So I'd rather, none of my stuff is perfect. I like signs with a story. I don't mind if they have chips in them. I don't mind if they have scratches in them. There's probably, out of all these signs, it might be 10 that are actually would be considered, a perfect sign. But I'm okay with that. Because it tells the story. And again, the story is also not about the sign. It's about who I got it from, where I got it from. If it was raining that day or snowing or whatever.
And you remember most of where these signs came from? I mean,
so it's all that's the fun. So
are you gonna? I mean, it seems like you're probably running out of space. So what are you gonna do when you can't fit any more signs in here? You're just gonna have to.
There's a few outside now. When I was always
there are some.
I always tried to not put them outside. The giant shell sign. I'm like, well, we got nowhere to put that, but I'm not going to give it up. So
you can kind of
it does become more of a challenge. You can see there's a couple smaller ones down here on the floor that I haven't figured out where they're going yet. So again, I'll wait till I get a group of them. It's easier for me to spot a group of them, in and amongst than one at a time. So, but again, it's fun. It's challenging. As I'm getting older, some of these sounds like, man, how do I get that up there?
Right.
And I know we put up a sign this summer with both my sons and my wife with my tractor. And before we just climbed a ladder and put it up, and now it's like, no, it requires a tractor. No, we're going to put a harness on because I'm not falling from that height anymore. So,
well, and you got to, and there's a lot to plug. I mean, a lot of them are plugged into, and they're all lit up, and so do you? And then you've got kind of like a little sitting room area up there. Is that like your lounge? Sort of.
It's kind of like just like they call it, like my kids call it Man Town.
Mantown.
I'm part of Man Cave, whatever.
It's in Mantown. Okay.
Yeah.
And you can kind of look over the whole place here on this sort of loft area.
It's a bird's eye view. It's one of the old haylofts. And up there there's original movie theater seats from my town here in Pittsfield, the Scenic Theater.
Those are the seats
original seats, and those are seats that I sat in when I was a kid. So it's kind of cool to have those.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You put a lot of thought into everything you've got. In here.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, it's again, that's the story. That's a thing. I don't know if I sat in that seat, but there's a chance I sat in that seat when I was 12 years old. I don't know. So wow. So it's kind of cool to have that stuff, and and, some of the stuff is family heirlooms. My father's great uncle owned a Ford dealership in Northwood.
Okay.
Which was called Northwood Garage. It's still in business today as a different owners, but so they were kind of hoarders, and that part of the family decided to move west several years ago now, and they said, hey, we have all this stuff in a trail truck body that came from our uncle's business. I'm like, really? So some of the really cool signs, like over here, like this cloth one, that's actually family signs, that cloth super pyro.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a bunch of them in here. So I ended up with this collection of really cool stuff that actually belonged to my family and it's local.
So
it's like two birds with one stone, and that stuff will be with me forever. And the cool thing is my kids respect it; they know what it's about, so they'll end up with it eventually.
And this barn is from the 1700s. Explain a little bit of the history of this barn and what it took to kind of get it ready to be able to put all this in here.
So this barn is, according to my town records, was about 1780 when it was built. The house was built 1780. It originally was across the street.
The barn was across the street.
Yeah, originally. Okay. Yeah. And then sometime probably early 1800s, it got moved over here. And then I have a picture of it on June 12th, 1900, with the L, which attaches it to the house. And it looks like that structure was fairly new at that point. So I'd say that late 1800s, it got moved and attached.
Okay.
And then the roof was raised on it to give it a steeper pitch. And you can see by the rafters have been extended out. So when I bought the house, the barn was in fairly rough shape. The floors were sagging really bad. It couldn't support the weight of maybe any more than one car. A lot of the floor sections are actually missing. So I started some of the restoration process. We did this which would be the left-hand side of the barn first. Just replaced all the beams and did the floor right away.
Yeah.
So I could get when we moved, so I could get some of my stuff in here. And then I decided to go in business for myself. And then a friend of mine in town suggested, he goes, well, instead of building a new building, why don't you just jack your barn out? And then your square footage stays the same. You'll save the problems with the barn by replacing the sills at the same time. So we did that. So what I ended up doing is, while they were lifting the barn up, we took the entire structure out of the floor, replaced all the new beams, and we took the original flooring, stuck it outside, numbered it, stuck it outside, and then put new subfloor down, new beams, new subfloor, and then put the original planks in original position. So we were able to preserve the integrity of the barn as it was. There's obviously new boards on the sides where the boards were bad, but the main threshing floor we were able to save, which was, pretty cool to be able to display stuff.
Well, no, it looks great, and I think it's just absolutely amazing. And so downstairs, what explain your business and what you do down there.
So my business is we do auto restoration, but we do it's more of a hot rod shop. So we do early traditional style hot rods. So it's basically cars that are chopped roofs and whatever, but we use all period correct parts on them. We try to use as much original parts as opposed to aftermarket parts as possible. And kind of specialize in everything. There's a lot of shops that are doing all different things. They kind of specialize in either metalwork or they specialize in body and paint. We do everything here from start to finish.
And these vehicles are generally like what time period? A lot of the ones you're working on.
So I work from the teens, from basically the beginning of the Model Ts. Up through like 1959. So I kind of
stay early to mid 1950s.
Yep. Yep. I like, for two reasons. A is a space. The bigger cars, getting the 60s cars, they take up a lot more room. I can basically put two Model A's in the space of one 68 Chevelle or whatever. So and that's where my passion is. My passion is 50s and earlier. So I like what I do. I get up every morning. I'm excited to go out there because I'm working on what I work on myself. So and my collection reflects that. I mean, this is my newest car right here. It's 57 Chevy. So actually, I guess we have a 63 pickup too, but this is this is considered new. So
But
but yeah, it's.
And how many vehicles are you working on like at a time generally? I mean, how busy are?
So there currently there's 13 cars in the shop, and there's 2 in storage trailers waiting to come in right now.
Hmm.
And then there is a pickup we need to pick up on in 2 weeks, and then there's another car being delivered next week.
For you? All right.
Yeah, so we roll through. So there's different levels of projects.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 2 Model A's down there, the complete builds. Those have actually been here for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And they get worked in around the regular workload, which is the day-to-day, the meat and potatoes, pay the bills work, which is, mechanical, wiring, repairs, stuff like that, upgrades, engine swaps. So.
And where are your customers coming from? What are they? A lot of them in New Hampshire, or is your name out there elsewhere, and people are finding you and
it's actually
hiring you?
It's actually worldwide. I have customers in Sweden, England.
Oh wow!
I have a Canadian car here right now. So I've worked for customers in the past, basically all over the world, in the United States. I've had some Midwest customers.
Really?
Okay. Yeah. It's mixed in. I mean, right now I'd say there's a couple down there from New York right now. Two different cars from New York. And then there's probably about 50-50 from away in New Hampshire right now. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long have you been doing the business?
I've been in business myself for 14 years now.
14.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And before that, I worked for another hot rod shop for 11 years. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you get it? Was it just a passion you had for these types of vehicles and decided?
Yeah, I actually went to art school, and then
art school.
Yeah, I went to art school for a year.
Well, that explains a little bit of what's going on in this barn, I guess.
Went to art school for a year. Decided the college wasn't my thing.
Okay.
And I came back, and my father restores old houses. I worked for him for a while, but that wasn't my thing either.
Yeah.
And I was offered a job at a regular body shop. So about 18 years old, I started at a body shop, sweeping floors, literally.
Mm-hmm.
And mixing paint. That was my job. And then they started giving me on-the-job training. And then I worked there for years, and then I ended up at a car dealership, which was a great way to learn because they were able to give me certifications, all the stuff, without having to go to college.
Mm-hmm.
And then all the while I was working on new cars, I was working on the side on old stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd always had old cars since I was 15 years old. I had my first, I had a 55 Ford pickup truck. So that was my first, introduction into antique cars. So, and then I just kind of expanded on my passion, take the art side. I use that color theory, metal shaping, all that stuff, sculpting. I take all that and I apply it to what I do in my regular day-to-day now.
So what's the average time to restore a car? I mean, I guess it depends on the condition of the car and what you have to do, but how?
It depends. It depends on the build. It's 2 years minimum for a build. Usually they go 2 to 3, depending on, again, it all depends on the build style. It depends on parts availability, depends on the direction, how rare the parts we're going to be using on the car. So it's kind of, it varies. Regular, some regular cars come in here that might be here, regular work might be 2-3 weeks. Sometimes it might be here for 6 months.
Yeah. Okay.
And that the problem is, what happens with a lot of these cars is they come in, this is the problem. It gets here, we find out that that's not really the problem. It was another problem. And then that problem was caused by another problem. So the next thing you know, you've got a car that you thought you were going to have out in 2 weeks is now here for 3 months because you're trying to find the parts. And since COVID, unfortunately, a lot of the smaller manufacturers, mom and pops, that were making pieces that were being sold to the bigger suppliers went out of business. So I'm finding it increasingly harder and harder to actually get parts for the stuff that I used to be able to just make a phone call the next day. Yeah. The case, I have a 36 Ford downstairs right now where it's missing. The car came from, it'd been in storage for many times, missing a bunch of pieces. And I made some phone calls and we haven't made that stuff in 3 or 4 years now. So now it's either I got to make it myself, which I can do. But the problem is that makes it way more expensive than it used to be, where I could buy the part for $200. Now we're going to be making pieces for 2 days and you got to be into it for $2,000. So, that's the difference. So,
okay. But you still enjoy what you do.
Oh yeah.
And it's been, I mean, did you ever think that, growing up, did you know what you wanted to do when you were,
I did.
Well, you went to art school, so you obviously had some passion for art
I did. Yeah. And
to some extent.
I thought I'd be doing illustrating books or something, but, but instead I ended up here and, and I'm good with it, and my kids are following my footsteps and, my oldest son works for me pretty much he works for me full time, and my youngest son, he likes the transport part of things, so transporting cars. So he does all my transport for customers, and now like as I speak right now, he's in South Carolina with pick up and drop off job. So so I think he's probably going to go that direction. But that's his passion. So but it happened because we had to deliver a car to California. I got sick on the way out there. He had just gotten his license 2 weeks before, and he had to drive to California, basically almost all the way to California and then all the way back. So it kind of, I think, it set the hook into something he really liked to do. So,
do you have any plans to, any, I don't know, more ideas for the barn and the signs, and I don't know what more you can do. Like we're talking about, you're kind of out of space, but I don't know. Do you? What do you have any other thoughts on?
I'll put as many in here as I can.
You're still going to try to fit what you can fit in here.
Yep.
Still okay.
Yep. I'll still fit some.
Is there a sign you're looking for that you have always wanted and have not been able to find it? Sort of like the unicorn sign.
It's basically a unicorn. It's the flying horse sign. Big horse.
Oh, it is a unicorn.
Basically. Yeah. It's funny. Yeah. It's the red Pegasus sign, but unfortunately they've become so valuable. It's kind of unobtainium. I mean, I can't bring myself to spend the money on a sign that costs more than a car that I can get in and drive. Wow. So it's just,
So some of these signs,
some of them are
very valuable.
Oh yeah, especially some of the TV shows that are out there have put kind of a false value on a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Because everyone sees it and they're like, oh, well, my sign, even though it's got 16 bullet holes in it, is worth. They had one on American Clippers and it was $20,000, so mine must be worth at least 19.
Yeah.
So so I just it's kind of it's a false market. So that's why I find that they find me. Like if I'm not looking for them, they come along. If I go out and I'm actively looking for something, I'm not going to find it.
Right.
Or in the case you might find it, but you're going to pay for it. So again, the money side of it isn't that important to me. The value side of it doesn't. That's not what interests me in collecting. And I know it's odd for what most collectors do, but for me, again, it's stories. That's really where it's at.
Is there a sign that has a real compelling story behind it? Any particular sign here that you are either how you got the sign, or just something about the sign that really, I don't know if you can think of anything off the top of your head that really has the most compelling.
Again, I think the family stuff, the signs I got from families, passed down through our family, that those are probably the most important.
Through your family?
Yeah.
Oh, through your family. Okay.
So like that Goodyear sign that's just super early. It's from like 1912. That's one. Probably one of the neatest stories is the gas pump upstairs. That when I used to own a house in Concord, I had a gas pump outside my garage. It was a display thing. And there's a guy walking his dog by one day, and he says, "Hey, you want another gas pump?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm always looking for gas pumps." He goes, "Well, I live up on the street around the corner." He goes, "There's one in the basement of my house." I was like, "That's cool." So we got there, and he goes, "You can have it. You just have to take it out." And what it was is it was never used as an actual gas pump. There was two big, like Victorian mansion-style houses, and it was the same family, but one house had the heating system and it had a huge oil tank in the basement. So they took the gas pump and they plumbed it into the house, and when the next door neighbor's house called for heat, the gas pump would pump fuel oil from that house to the house next door.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, and it was, and they had built like this coffer-dam around it. It had this brick dam in case a pipe broke. It could hold the heating oil, and it's cool. It's a 1917 rapid Dayton clock face gas pump. It's actually a very rare gas pump.
Wow.
It was in I painted it. The paint kind of crackled, and I think who I am today, I wouldn't have. I would have left it the way that it was because it was awesome. It was really well patinaed, but I wanted to restore it at that point. I was 22 years old.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I'm
gonna restore it, make it perfect. Yeah. But in hindsight's 2020. It had this awesome crackled red paint on it, and it still had what was off the original decals on it, and all kind of stuff. But it was just a really cool story that had happened, and what it took to get it. And we had to cut the plumbing out, and we had to cap the pipes off, and we had to do all this stuff, and at the end of the day, it was still working.
Yeah.
It had been there since 1970.
Wow.
So.
What about this? There's a sign up here. No nukes in our cukes.
Yeah, a very unusual sign.
What is that? I don't know if you can. I can't really see it on there, but what is the deal with that?
supposedly came from a predecessor to Whole Foods from like the late 60s.
Oh.
When the no nukes thing was a big deal.
Okay.
And if you look at it, what it is, it's actually a pickle.
Yes, it is a pickle.
Yeah, and it has bomb fins on it.
Yeah.
So it's a pickle bomb.
A pickle. Oh.
Yes, they made a pickle into a bomb and they put no nukes in our cubes. So it's some like a alternative grocery store from like the late 60s, late 70s, and I found that in Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Yeah.
Back when Craigslist was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
So it's kind of, again, that's one of those stories, and so I went and got that sign. And the guy's like, "Hey, do you want a diner booth?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "I'll throw it in." He goes, "I'm getting rid of it." So I ended up getting that sign and a diner booth.
A diner. Oh gosh. So, and it does kind of have a diner feel.
Yeah. It's a cool vibe
that you go. Yeah.
And he the guy's like, "Yeah, just take it with you." Because I remember we went down, we had a Volvo wagon at the time. We stuffed the diner seat, took them apart, and stuffed them in there in pieces, and stuck the sign in on top of it.
Yeah.
It was kind of a fun thing. So, but again, that's a story, just kind of those are the things that you can't get that back. That's part of it.
So you grew up in Pittsfield area, or you grew up in Pittsfield?
I grew up in Epsom, but
I'm
literally
Epsom.
Right 3 miles.
Right. So in the area, anyways. Yeah. And so you a lot of people must know you.
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of people stopping by saying, "Hey, Eli, we just want to see what do you got for any new cool signs we could check out"? Do you get that going on, or?
Yeah, and the cool thing is so like in the middle of the barn, there's a chainsaw sign, strung chainsaw sign. So that came from this house, across the street's a building, and that sign used to be on the building. So up until the 70s, this was the place in Pittsfield you came to get chainsaws fixed, lawnmowers fixed, whatever. Okay. So the cool thing was the family found out I had the sign. They came to see it because it has their grandfather's name on it. So Henry Clark, South Pittsfield, it says right on the sign.
Nice.
So it's kind of cool to have them come through and see it and know that that I have it on display. And that's why it's in the middle of the barn, because it's like the centerpiece, because it's from this house. So it was a really weird find. We bought the house. The next day I was out walking through the field out back, and it was laying down face down in the field. And I flipped it over. I'm like, wow. Yeah, 1957 sign dated on it, and and it survived. Yeah. So it was just pretty cool to have. And then there's other people who've dropped stuff off. Another fellow down the street, he was passed away a few years ago, but he was headed to the dump one day, and he's like, "Hey," he goes, "I see you had signs with your doors open the other day." He goes, "I have this old air machine. Do you want it?" I'm like, "Because if you don't, it's going to the dump." So I have that up there. It's a red air machine, echo air machine. It's an old gas station
up in the
loft
area. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Huh.
So yeah, I mean, and again, it's one of those things. None of the stuff is for sale in honor of that guy. I always, every time I know it came from him. I remember him driving up in his truck and going, "Hey, do you want this?" And to me, that's the most important part. So that I can preserve that memory. And their family members have since come through. "Hey, your grandfather gave me that," and it's kind of cool to be able to give that back, that little bit of memory back.
That is, that is really awesome.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Now I see it says clean restroom sign down there. What's the story behind that?
That was just
No,
that was something that came from actually a modern gas station.
Oh, okay.
And they were throwing it away. I happened to be coming out of the gas station. I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing with that stuff?" I was like, going to a dumpster. I'm like, "Oh, take it." And I got a whole bunch of, they say like, one that says like juice and one that says milk, and but they're not super old, but they are actual commercial neons and not. So that's where I draw the line. It's like there's reproduction neons. You can go on like a nostalgia site and go buy neons.
Yeah.
So I collect real neons. Yeah. So like, even though those are new, they were actually in a store. They're purpose built for the store. They weren't purpose built as a gift, so to speak. So
yeah.
I think I have another one over there that says fast food. I have a coffee one over here.
Yeah, I saw the coffee one, and so is that from the?
That's from a different store. Actually,
that's a different store.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you really do know all the stories behind.
I do. Yeah.
Each sign in here. I mean, I guess we could sit here for like all day talking about every sign in here, because I'm just really curious about all of them. But
like the X-Lax sign over there that got dug up with an excavator.
Well, X-Lax.
Yeah, they were digging with an excavator on a construction site, and they hit that thing. It's actually it got bent right in the middle, but it is what it is. It's a story.
Whoa. So. And he's got Wise potato chip.
Yep.
Owl up there.
Yep.
Too.
Yep, and the twin to it is actually still up on the signpost in Dunbarton, New Hampshire.
And what about this cheese one? I don't know if we can see. Oh,
that came from Northwood, New Hampshire. That was that used to be on Route 4, and there used to be a general store in Northwood Narrows, which is long gone, and that was a sign from the 50s to get you to the store to get cheese.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. I know where that sign was on Route 4. I know exactly where it was. Was on a post. But
you could charge admission to come in here probably and give tours.
Make some money. It's fun. It's
just fascinating,
and I enjoy sharing it. That's the biggest thing. Is I do, even though it's limited and who sees it, I do enjoy letting people come and ask questions. I love to talk about them, and to me that's part of the fun of collecting this stuff. Just doing that. So,
and your wife is
women for the most part. Yeah,
she's okay. She understands this.
Yeah, this
obsession with signs.
Yeah, and this a lot of the stuff I try to migrate to the house, but it kind of gets rejected and has to come back.
So some of it ends up in the house.
Yeah, some of that is quite a bit in the house, but a lot of it's over the years is, well, you got a barn, you can put it in a barn.
Yeah,
so,
right.
So it's kind of, it's a give and take. So but I have a toy truck collection. Most of that is in the house. But yeah, I have like all these sub collections within the collection.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and it's I say it's like roadside Americana that I collect. It's not necessarily just automobile stuff. Like you said earlier, I had the Colonial sign. That's like roadside Americana. And it's kind of auto related, but it's more, movie theater related. But yeah, so it's not just garage stuff.
Yeah, right. Well, Eli, anything else that you feel is important to mention? I think we've covered it pretty well, and I'm really just amazed. But yeah, anything else?
No, so it's a lifelong
story
passion.
here. It is many stories, many different stories in this barn.
It's a collection of stories.
It's a collection of collection of stories here, and super cool.
Yeah, it's fun. I guess the other one, like the Lincoln and Mercury sign, I got those this spring.
Yeah.
I had bought a bucket list car of mine. A 36-foot Cabriolet was a car that I have these cars in mind that I wanted to own. And this was or build for myself, and I found one. And ironically, it was under a porch in Dorchester, basically part of Boston. And we were collecting all the pieces for the car, which had been taken apart in the 70s, put in the house. And I looked up, and those Lincoln Mercury signs were there. And it turns out that the guy who had the car was his father worked for that dealership. And so the neon was broken. I had it restored. And the cool thing is that I found some really awesome pictures of those signs in their original place in Boston online by just doing a deep dive on the internet.
Okay.
So I'm pretty excited to have those. I took to the sign place, which is in Boston. They were super excited to work on it because it was a piece of Boston history. So that was two more interesting little stories.
Yeah.
But like I said, we could go on forever. So.
Well, it's we could, but well done. I mean, you to put this collection of stories together, and it's more than just they're more than just signs, as you say. So
right.
Well, Eli, thank you again for taking the time on a chilly winter day here in New Hampshire. But
we're resilient.
I know we are. Well, until next time, remember, every person and every place has a story to tell. We'll see you soon. Thanks for tuning in to Grounded in Granite, where we celebrate the people, places, and stories that make New Hampshire home. If you've enjoyed today's episode, make sure to follow Grounded in Granite on Facebook, X, TikTok, and Instagram for behind-the-scenes clips, photos, and more. Subscribe to the Grounded in Granite YouTube channel to catch full video episodes. You can also find Grounded in Granite on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeart. Until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and stay grounded in granite.